Listen closely, for these words are not mere platitudes. They are a summons to the very core of your being, a call to awaken the power that resides, often dormant, within your mind. Many men and women move through life as if they were leaves caught in a storm, buffeted by the winds of circumstance, opinion, and impulse. Yet, I tell you this, the storms are not what threaten you. It is your surrender to them. Your failure to command your own thoughts, to govern your own emotions, that seals the fate of your success. The first truth I wish to engrave upon your consciousness is this: what is not meant for you will resist every force you apply. Yet, in the resistance lies a lesson, a mirror to your inner world. The world will offer no guarantees. Approval, recognition, wealth, influence. These are not owed to you, nor are they to be forced into your grasp. Those who attempt to wrest from life what it has not willingly surrendered often find themselves exhausted, embittered, and spiritually bankrupt. Do not mistake this as counsel for passivity. To relinquish your pursuit is not the goal, but to fight against the natural flow of opportunity. To batter your spirit against doors that refuse to open is to drain your vitality for nothing. Mastery begins not with forcing life's hand, but with mastering your own. You must understand the principle of emotional detachment, not indifference, not apathy, but the serene command over your inner landscape. Too often, we allow every insult, disappointment, and setback to invade the citadel of our mind. We react before we think. We surrender to the whims of feeling rather than the deliberate dictates of reason. Emotional reaction is the enemy of all achievement. Those who allow anger, jealousy, fear, or impatience to steer their actions relinquish power, the most precious resource a human being possesses. Let us consider the law of mental neutrality. A storm arises. Some will panic, some will despair, some will rage, but the person who has disciplined the mind, who has cultivated calmness as a muscle, stands unmoved, observing, choosing response rather than reaction. There is a world of difference between the two. Reaction is slavery. Response is mastery. The reactive mind is tossed upon every wave. The responsive mind charts a course regardless of the storm. I will tell you now a secret, spoken to few, understood by fewer. If you cannot master your thoughts, you cannot master your destiny. Every failure begins in the mind long before it manifests in the world. Doubt, indecision, anxiety, they are seeds planted in fertile soil by uncontrolled emotion. And yet, just as surely, the mind that is disciplined can summon the circumstances, attract the people, and seize the resources necessary to accomplish what others deem impossible. Definiteness of purpose is the cornerstone of such mastery. Know clearly what you desire, and do not allow your attention to wander to that which is not aligned. When you chase what is not meant for you, whether recognition from the unworthy, affection from the indifferent, or victories that require a compromise of your integrity, you dilute your energy. You scatter the force that could have moved mountains in your chosen field. Napoleon Hill taught that success is the product of applied energy, concentrated upon a definite purpose. Without detachment, concentration falters. Without emotional discipline, purpose is corrupted. Consider the analogy of a smith forging steel. The hammer strikes only because it is guided by the hand of the master. Uncontrolled emotion is a hammer swinging wildly, breaking the steel rather than shaping it. When you cultivate inner discipline, you become both the smith and the hammer, the force and the direction, the energy and the control. Every thought is deliberate, every action is measured. Every desire is filtered through the lens of purpose. Now, you may ask, how do I attain such detachment? How do I discipline the tempest of the mind? The answer lies in consistent, daily practice. Observe your thoughts. Note the emotional currents that rise unbidden. Pause before action. Ask yourself, is this thought, this feeling, serving the higher purpose I have defined for myself? If the answer is no, release it. Do not push against it. Simply let it pass, like a cloud drifting across the sky of your mind. Autosuggestion is the method by which this mastery is reinforced. Speak to your subconscious, not with empty words, but with precise, commanding affirmation. I am master of my emotions. I command my thoughts. I direct my energy toward that which serves my ultimate purpose. Repeat this until the words no longer feel like a mantra and instead become the operating system of your inner world. There is a truth, often overlooked by those who chase success without understanding, that I now place before you. The mind is your only kingdom. Govern it well, and all else will follow. Misrule it, and you will suffer endless chaos. The tyrants of the outer world are nothing compared to the tyrant of uncontrolled emotion within. To conquer this inner despot is to unlock freedom, power, and peace beyond imagination. Calmness is the sanctuary of power. Observe the most successful men and women in history, those who carved empires, who transformed ideas into reality, who moved masses with a single vision, and you will find in each a profound serenity. Not a serenity born of ignorance, but one born of control. A calm mind is never frantic. It does not chase, it does not panic. It observes, calculates, and directs. The frantic mind is prey to circumstance, a puppet to the strings of every misfortune and disappointment. Calmness is your shield against this tyranny. To cultivate calmness, you must first understand the root of agitation, unrestrained attachment. Every time your mind clings to approval, to fear of loss, to desire for recognition, it generates turbulence. Every time you allow the judgment of others to stir your emotions, you relinquish sovereignty over your inner kingdom. Do not be mistaken. Detachment does not mean indifference. It means the measured assessment of value, the refusal to surrender your equilibrium to that which lies outside your control. Imagine, if you will, a captain steering a ship through a violent storm. The winds howl, the waves rise. Yet the captain who panics will founder, while the captain who remains calm, steady at the helm, navigates the tempest with precision. Your mind is that ship. Your emotions are the storm. Calmness allows you to steer where others are swept away. Here's a practical step. Before you speak, before you act, pause. Let the initial rush of feeling pass. Ask yourself, will this action serve my higher purpose, or am I responding to a fleeting gust of emotion? The answer will often be illuminating. Practice this discipline daily. In small matters, you will see improvement. In great matters, you will achieve mastery. Calmness is inseparable from mental neutrality, the ability to evaluate life without bias, without overreaction, without the distortion of unchecked emotion. It is a quiet, often invisible strength, yet its effects are monumental. When the mind is calm, reasoning is sharpened. Opportunities become visible where before there was only chaos. Decisions are guided not by panic but by strategic clarity. And in this state, one begins to perceive what is truly meant for them and what is not. Consider this. Life will often present you with obstacles not because they are meant to stop you, but because they are tests of your inner discipline. Push against what is not meant for you with anger, and you invite struggle. Observe it with calm detachment, and you conserve energy for the endeavors that align with your purpose. The universe does not reward force, it rewards alignment. Now, let us speak of another pillar of mastery, the principle of thought first. Every action, every result, every circumstance is preceded by thought. If you allow your mind to dwell on fear, doubt, or resentment, you manufacture outcomes of limitation. If you discipline your mind to dwell on clarity, strategy, and calm purpose, you manufacture success. This is the law of cause and effect applied to the mental plane. Thought is the seed. Action is the fruit. Tend the seed, or suffer barren harvests. To wield thought with precision, you must first observe its patterns. Recognize where distraction arises. Recognize the subtle ways in which emotion seeks to dominate reason. Like a vigilant gardener, pull the weeds of anxiety, frustration, and impulsiveness before they choke the growth of intention. Fill your mind with principles, affirmations, and deliberate focus. In time, this cultivation becomes automatic, and the mind itself becomes a loyal instrument of your will. Desire is the fire that fuels achievement, yet it is a fire that can consume as readily as it can illuminate. Uncontrolled desire is like a forest blaze, raging, indiscriminate, destroying all in its path. Controlled desire, disciplined and directed, is the forge upon which greatness is shaped. To master your desires, you must first distinguish between those that serve your higher purpose and those that seek only to gratify fleeting impulses. Most people live their lives enslaved to desire without ever recognizing the chains. They pursue approval from the unworthy, chase validation from the indifferent, covet possessions that hold no true meaning. And in doing so, they drain their energy, scatter their attention, and dilute the force of their intent. You, however, will not follow this path. You will cultivate strategic detachment, the wisdom to desire without clinging, to pursue without desperation, to act without being consumed. Consider the archer, standing before a target. If he grips the bow too tightly, if his hand trembles with anticipation, the arrow will falter, deviating from its mark. If he loosens his grasp entirely, letting the bow float without control, the arrow will fly wild. But in the balance between focus and detachment lies mastery. The archer pulls the string, aims with precision, and releases not desperate for the shot, but confident in his skill. So too must you approach life's opportunities. Act with purpose, aim with clarity, but do not allow the outcome to enslave your spirit. To achieve this mastery, practice the following. Each morning, identify the desires that align with your ultimate purpose. Write them down, speak them aloud. Visualize the disciplined pursuit of these objectives. Then, consciously release attachment to outcomes beyond your control. Let life present the circumstances that align with your focus. Do not push against the natural flow. Direct your energy where it can be most effective. Emotional detachment is not the absence of feeling, but the presence of clarity. It is the ability to encounter success and failure alike with equanimity, to respond rather than react, to conserve energy for what truly matters. The person who allows disappointment to destabilize their mind is like a ship caught in a whirlpool spinning endlessly without progress. The person who practices detachment, however, remains anchored, surveying the situation, adjusting the sails, and moving forward with purpose. Now, consider the power of mental rehearsal. The mind that is trained to anticipate challenges, to visualize outcomes, and to practice calm resolution in the theater of thought is a mind prepared to act decisively in the theater of life. Every obstacle, every slight, every setback becomes a rehearsal for mastery. The more you practice thought control and emotional discipline internally, the more automatic it becomes externally. What once caused panic now elicits strategy. What once provoked anger now provokes focus. Do not mistake this practice for passivity. The truly detached individual is not inert, but deliberate. Action springs from clarity, not compulsion. Decisions are measured, intentions precise, energy conserved for the pursuit of what is meant for you. And here lies the hidden advantage. While others exhaust themselves in frantic struggle, you act with effortless momentum, achieving far more with far less effort. Attachment is the silent thief of progress. Observe where your mind clings, to approval, to wealth, to recognition, to romance, to prestige. Each attachment is a lever that others may pull, a weight that drags you from the path of mastery. Release where you can, redirect where you must. Keep your attention fixed on the objectives that serve your ultimate purpose, and let go of the rest. In doing so, you reclaim your most precious resource, mental energy. Imagine a great river flowing toward the ocean. When the river is blocked by debris, it spills over, floods the banks, and loses its course. Remove the obstacles, guide the flow, and the river moves with unstoppable power, cutting valleys, sustaining life, transforming the land. So too with your mind. Clear the obstacles of fear, doubt, attachment, and distraction. Direct the current of your thoughts, and you will find that the momentum you create is not merely strong, it is unstoppable. Every action taken from detachment is amplified. Every decision made from clarity is precise. Every goal pursued with disciplined desire aligns with the law of cause and effect. The more control you exert over your inner world, the more influence you exert over the outer. You are no longer subject to circumstance. Circumstance becomes subject to you. Remember always this truth. Do not push what is not meant for you. Energy spent forcing doors open is energy stolen from doors already waiting to be unlocked. The detached, disciplined mind recognizes this. It waits, it prepares, it acts with timing and precision. Life rewards those who align, not those who resist. It grants power to the focused, to the calm, to the deliberate. And now you must ask yourself, Will you continue to allow the chaos of uncontrolled desire and emotion to dictate your fate? Or will you rise, mastering your thoughts, governing your impulses, and commanding your inner world with the authority of a sovereign? Your destiny is not in the hands of luck nor of others, it is in your own and only your own. Adversity is the crucible in which greatness is forged. Yet most men and women face it as victims rather than as masters. They allow frustration, anger, and despair to cloud their judgment, to sap their energy, and to cripple their initiative. But you, who listen now with disciplined attention, will not fall into this trap. You will face adversity with calm, measured thought, understanding that every challenge contains the seed of equivalent advantage if only you have the vision to perceive it. Do not mistake this for optimism. It is not a naive hope, but a deliberate strategic perspective. Life will not bend to your desire. It will offer only those opportunities that align with your preparation and your inner discipline. Every obstacle is neutral. It possesses no inherent power except that which you assign to it through your reaction. React with panic, and you multiply its impact. Respond with clarity, and you convert it into fuel for achievement. This is the law of mental alchemy, turning adversity into advantage through the mastery of thought. Accurate thinking is the instrument through which this alchemy is performed. Observe your thoughts carefully, for inaccuracy is the thief of power. When you allow assumption, rumor, or unverified belief to govern your mind, you invite error and disappointment, separate fact from opinion, separate emotion from logic. Ask, what is true in this situation? What is actionable? What lies within my control? It is through this rigorous exercise that mental discipline becomes tangible, that decisions become precise, and that action becomes effective. Consider the analogy of the surgeon. The scalpel is precise, the hand is steady, the mind is focused. Every cut, every movement is deliberate. Inaccurate thinking is like a tremor in the hand, sudden, uncontrolled, and destructive. Accurate thought is your scalpel. Calmness is your steady hand. Emotional detachment is your focus. With these tools, you dissect challenges, remove obstacles, and craft outcomes that serve your purpose with surgical precision. Now, let us speak of action. Detachment is not passivity, and accurate thought is not inertia. The mind disciplined in calm, clear, detached assessment must translate insight into deliberate, decisive action. The individual who acts impulsively squanders opportunity. The individual who acts indecisively invites failure. The individual who acts with disciplined clarity moves mountains. Each step, each decision, each initiative should be executed as though it were a strategy in a game whose stakes are your life, your legacy, your destiny. Remember this fundamental truth. Success is the product of applied energy, focused upon a definite purpose, with thought governed by reason and emotion under control. The detached mind, the calm observer, the disciplined strategist, this is the person capable of extraordinary accomplishment. They do not react to every wind of circumstance, nor do they pursue that which is not meant for them. Instead, they concentrate on what is theirs to claim, and they claim it with unwavering determination. And yet, there is another dimension, patience. Action must be timed, energy must be conserved, and strategic detachment must guide execution. The impatient soul is easily swayed by the first obstacle. The disciplined mind waits for the alignment of conditions, strikes when opportunity is unmistakable, and achieves outcomes that the frantic can only dream of. There is power in patience, for it allows you to act from mastery rather than compulsion. Visualize, if you will, a great archer again, this time in a tournament of immense consequence. The target is distant, the stakes high. Many archers shoot immediately, allowing nerves and haste to dictate their aim. But the master archer waits. They breathe. They center themselves. They release the arrow not out of need, but out of skill, timing, and focus. The arrow finds the center with flawless precision. So too with your actions. They must spring from preparation, clarity, and detached mastery. Let me remind you, do not push what is not meant for you. Energy wasted on resistance, frustration, or misaligned pursuit is energy lost forever. Instead, identify your true purpose, cultivate calmness, master your desire, apply accurate thinking, and act decisively on the course that is yours to navigate. In doing so, you convert adversity into advantage, obstacles into opportunities, and potential into undeniable achievement. Finally, I leave you with this principle, often overlooked yet universally true. The measure of your success is not merely in what you achieve, but in how much control you exercise over yourself in achieving it. Master your mind, govern your emotions, align your desires with your purpose, direct your actions with clarity. And in that mastery, you will discover power, freedom, and fulfillment that no circumstance, no opposition, no adversity can take from you. Now, hear this clearly. The mind that is disciplined, detached, and precise is a fortress of power. Nothing can breach it except what you allow. The emotions that once dictated your actions are now instruments under your command. The desires that once scattered your energy are now directed with the precision of a master strategist. You are no longer subject to circumstance. You are the orchestrator of your destiny. Consider this. Every person you admire, every individual who has achieved greatness, has mastered this principle consciously or unconsciously. They did not attain success by chasing every fleeting opportunity, nor by succumbing to every storm of emotion. They observed, they calculated, they acted with clarity, and they persevered where others surrendered. The difference between mediocrity and excellence is not luck, it is mental mastery. You now stand at the threshold of this mastery. The principles you have absorbed, the cultivation of calmness, the discipline of desire, the application of accurate thought, the strategic deployment of action, are not abstract ideals. They are your instruments of power. They are the levers by which you can move mountains in your life, in your career, in your relationships, and in the very destiny of your soul. Do not underestimate the simplicity of this truth. Do not push what is not meant for you. Many fail because they resist, they force, they exhaust themselves on battles that were never theirs to fight. The disciplined mind recognizes the difference. It invests energy where it yields maximum return. It waits, it acts decisively, it masters the inner world before seeking to influence the outer. And in this alignment, you discover something extraordinary. Freedom. Freedom from the tyranny of reaction. Freedom from the chains of impulsive desire. Freedom from the exhaustion of wasted effort. This is not a distant ideal. It is available to you now, in this moment, if you take control of your mind and your emotions. The moment you decide to govern your thoughts, to release attachment, and to act from clarity, the world itself bends to your purpose. Circumstance becomes pliable. Opportunity becomes visible. Power becomes your companion. Imagine the life you could lead if no storm of emotion could sway you, if no misaligned desire could divert you, if every action you took was guided by purpose and precision. Imagine the achievements, the influence, the legacy that would follow. This is not fantasy. It is a natural consequence of the principles you now possess. Mastery of the inner world is the ultimate lever for shaping the outer world. And so, I call upon you to act not hesitantly, not partially, but fully. Begin now to observe your thoughts, to release that which does not serve, to align your energy with your highest purpose, and to act decisively in the pursuit of what is truly meant for you. Let patience guide your timing. Let clarity guide your decisions, and let detachment protect your power. Every obstacle is now a test, every challenge a rehearsal, every opportunity a proving ground for your disciplined mind. Remember always this final truth. The greatest victories are not won in the world outside, but in the realm of thought, emotion, and desire. Conquer yourself first, and the world becomes secondary. Master your inner kingdom, and you will wield influence, power, and achievement beyond measure. Your destiny is no longer a product of chance, opinion, or circumstance. It is a product of your will, your discipline, and your unwavering command over your own mind. Rise now. Govern your thoughts. Direct your emotions. Pursue your desires with strategic clarity. Release all that is not meant for you. And as you do, you will find yourself unstoppable, unshakable, and unrivaled in your capacity to achieve. This is the secret that few understand, the power that few exercise, and the freedom that few ever claim. But it is yours. If you choose it, take it, own it, and let your life be the testament to the unstoppable force of a mind mastered, a heart disciplined, and a spirit aligned with its ultimate purpose. Do not push what is not meant for you. Command what is. Master yourself, and nothing will be beyond your reach. Now, let us linger here a moment, in the quiet gravity of what you have come to understand. Feel it, the stillness of your mind when it is free from distraction, the clarity of your vision when desires are disciplined, the surge of power that comes when your emotions obey your command. This is not a promise. It is a reality waiting for your embrace. Most will never know it because most never master themselves. They are driven by the currents of fear, habit, and impatience. But you, yes, you are poised at the threshold of something far greater than circumstance, far stronger than mere talent, far more certain than luck. Picture, if you will, a vast river cutting its course through mountains. Its force is unstoppable, not because of effort, but because it moves with certainty, following the path carved by natural law. The river does not fight the rocks it encounters, it flows around them, shaping them over time, carving valleys, nourishing life. So too must you flow unyielding in purpose, yet adaptable in method. The obstacles that once daunted you are nothing but stones in your river's path. You do not rage against them, you redirect, you channel, you transform every challenge into fuel for your progress. This is the power of detachment. This is the mastery of the inner world. The mind disciplined in calm, the heart unshaken by fleeting emotion, the desires honed and aligned. These are not abstract ideals. They are your instruments of influence, your levers of power, your means of achieving that which others deem impossible. When you act from this state, you become unstoppable. Opportunities that once seemed distant or impossible are drawn to you. Challenges that once seemed overwhelming become exercises in strategy. Success is no longer something to chase. It becomes the natural consequence of your inner order. Understand this as well. The path of mastery is not without discomfort. To command your emotions, to discipline your desires, to govern your thoughts, is to confront yourself in ways that most avoid. You must face fear without flinching, doubt without succumbing, and desire without surrendering. But it is precisely in this confrontation that the alchemy occurs. The ordinary is transformed into extraordinary, the weak into the powerful, the reactive into the proactive. Pain, struggle, and adversity are not enemies. They are the sculptors of greatness. Visualize now your daily life, lived with this clarity. Each decision, each interaction, each pursuit guided by awareness and inner control. You do not react to every slight or criticism. You observe, you evaluate, you act from strategic insight. You do not chase every fleeting desire. You discern which pursuits align with your ultimate purpose and commit to them fully. You do not exhaust your energy in resistance. You conserve it, direct it, and multiply it. The world notices. Circumstances align. Allies appear. Doors open where once there were walls. All of this is the fruit of disciplined detachment, of unwavering self-mastery. Let me speak plainly. Most people will never achieve what you can achieve because they fail to govern themselves. They squander energy on what is not meant for them. They allow emotion to cloud thought. They react impulsively, chase the unworthy, and resist the flow of opportunity. You, however, have learned the secret. You have understood that your mind is your kingdom. Your emotions are your instruments, and your desires are your tools. You are now sovereign over yourself, and from sovereignty springs power beyond measure. So rise with this knowledge. Claim your authority over thought, emotion, and action. Move with decisiveness. Pursue with clarity. Release all that is misaligned with your purpose. Let the principle of, do not push what is not meant for you, guide every choice. Let your inner world be the compass for your outer world. Let patience, discipline, and detachment be the engines of your progress. And know this, once you act from this state, you are no longer at the mercy of chance, circumstance, or the judgments of others. You are unstoppable. Finally, I leave you with this enduring truth. Every great achievement, every enduring success, every life of impact is first won in the mind. Master your mind. Command your emotions. Align your desires. Execute with precision. In this, you will find freedom, power, and fulfillment beyond the reach of the unprepared. You will move through life like a river cutting through mountains, unyielding in purpose, adaptable in method, and unstoppable in outcome. Rise now. Govern your inner world. Act with clarity. Pursue your true purpose with unwavering resolve. Conquer what is within, and nothing in the world will be beyond your grasp. Do not push what is not meant for you. Command what is. Master yourself, and you become unstoppable. Consider the great leaders of history, the men and women who achieved feats that others deemed impossible. Abraham Lincoln, whose inner turmoil might have crushed him had he not learned to command his own mind. Winston Churchill, standing alone against the storm of fear and doubt, unwavering because his thoughts were disciplined, his emotions controlled, his purpose unwavering. Marie Curie, persisting through skepticism, exhaustion, and isolation, guided by clarity of desire and the disciplined pursuit of knowledge. Each of these lives teaches the same lesson. Mastery of the inner world precedes mastery of the outer world. Imagine yourself in their shoes, facing challenges that could break ordinary minds, the weight of expectation, the threat of failure, the constant assault of doubt. And yet, they persist not because the world bent to their will, but because they bent their own minds to purpose, wielding thought as a weapon and detachment as a shield. You must adopt this same posture. When fear arises, recognize it, observe it, and redirect your energy toward calculated action. When doubt surfaces, do not indulge it. Instead, examine it, analyze it, and let clarity dictate your path. When desire tempts you toward misalignment, pull yourself back and focus only on what serves your ultimate purpose. Let us make this practical. Each morning, take 5 minutes, no more, no less, to center yourself. Close your eyes, breathe deliberately, and visualize the day ahead. See yourself encountering challenges without panic, interacting without undue emotion, pursuing objectives with calm, unwavering precision. Imagine the obstacles you may face. Then see yourself navigating each one with strategic detachment. This simple practice is a rehearsal for the mind, a strengthening of the inner muscles that will carry you through the storms of reality. Now, add to this the principle of deliberate focus. Identify the 3 objectives that are most important in your life, those which, if achieved, would move you decisively toward mastery and fulfillment. Write them down, speak them aloud, internalize them. Then, throughout the day, return to them often. Let every thought, every action, every decision be filtered through these guiding objectives. The energy you once scattered in vain effort is now concentrated, magnified, and irresistible. Picture again a master archer, but this time in a tournament where the target is moving, the wind is unpredictable, and competitors surround him. Ordinary archers panic, distracted by conditions and competitors alike. But the master archer, calm, detached, focused, observes the pattern of the wind, predicts the movement of the target, and releases arrow after arrow with precision. So too must you act. Life's obstacles are ever shifting. Conditions are rarely perfect. Competitors and detractors abound. Yet, the disciplined mind sees patterns where others see chaos. It waits for the right moment, aligns intention with action, and strikes decisively. And remember this, do not push what is not meant for you. Energy expended against resistance is energy lost forever. Time spent on pursuit without alignment is momentum squandered. The universe, call it fate, providence, or natural law, rewards those who act in alignment, not those who resist. When you focus, detach, and act strategically, opportunity begins to follow. Doors you never imagined open. Allies appear at the precise moment. Challenges that once seemed insurmountable transform into stepping stones. Consider the analogy of the blacksmith. Steel, raw and unformed, lies before him. With every strike, guided by skill and patience, it bends, hardens, and becomes a tool of immense power. But a novice, striking randomly, impatiently, or without understanding, will only ruin the steel and waste effort. Your mind, your focus, your disciplined action are the hammer and the forge. Your inner clarity is the heat that tempers the steel. With patience, repetition, and alignment, you craft from chaos a life of unstoppable strength. Let me warn you, mastery is not passive. It demands vigilance. It requires constant observation of your own thoughts, continuous correction of emotional impulses, and unwavering attention to the alignment of desire and purpose. Yet, in this discipline lies freedom. Freedom from distraction, freedom from regret, freedom from the tyranny of circumstance. You will act with energy preserved, with focus sharpened, with clarity unshakable. Now, expand this practice beyond yourself. Observe how your interactions with others are colored by emotion. Detach strategically, listen without reacting, speak without impulse, act without compulsion. Influence is amplified not through force, but through calm presence, precise thought, and measured action. Those who react are seen. Those who respond are followed. You will lead not by shouting, but by embodying mastery, and in doing so, you command influence naturally. Finally, embrace the ultimate truth. All achievement, all influence, all success begins within. Conquer your mind, govern your emotions, align your desires, and act decisively, and you become unstoppable. No circumstance can sway you. No obstacle can block you. No outcome can surprise you, for you are prepared, focused, and disciplined. The river of your energy flows unimpeded, cutting valleys where mountains once stood, nourishing life where before there was barrenness, reshaping reality in accordance with your clarity of purpose. Rise now and claim this mastery. Govern your thoughts, command your emotions, direct your energy toward what is truly meant for you. Let every action, every choice, every moment of awareness be a testament to the power of the inner world mastered. You are sovereign over yourself. And when you command the self, the world itself becomes secondary, yielding to the force of a mind disciplined, desires aligned, and purpose absolute. Do not push what is not meant for you. Master what is. Govern yourself, and you become unstoppable. Let this truth guide you relentlessly, and watch as the impossible becomes inevitable.